Well, we're in a barbershop today, and people say coming to a barbershop is like going to counseling. We're not calling it that, Clayton, obviously. But I'm here with my friend Clayton Taylor, and he also cuts my hair as well. And Clayton has an incredible privilege, I think, Clayton, of being a barber, but on top of that, man, you're a minister.
That's
and so
right.
we're going to walk through what you do. This is a little unusual because you're cutting my hair at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm sitting in the chair, so this would be kind of weird. So Clayton, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and how you got into all of this.
Well, I've been barbering. This coming July, I'll be 25 years barbering.
That long?
Yeah, 25 years, a licensed master barber. So I've been doing 25 years. Prior to being a barber, I was in the military. So
I knew that.
I was a Navy veteran, and I was in the Navy for like 4 years. And once I got to the military, I always had a love for being a barber. Being a barber growing up, I just always admired barbers in my neighborhood. It was like really like some of the coolest guys just to hang around the bar.
They usually are, though, aren't they? Now,
yes,
I know it's going to be kind of hard for you, man. It's kind of hard for me. Not for you.
Yes.
You're going to cut my hair, and at the same time, we're going to try to invite you into our conversation, which is a little strange, Clayton. So I don't know. There's certain things we obviously can't talk about, man.
Right.
Not that we talk about anything bad anyway, Clayton, I guess. But when people come into the chair, Clayton, like, how do you feel like you're ministering to them, man? Is that a fair question?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, honestly, like, I look at this chair as my pulpit. When people sit down, they kind of just release whatever they're going through, good or bad. And I guess for me, it's like,
wow.
I won't say I'm soaking everything they give me. It's like I just like to listen because I'm a good listener. It's something I think a gift I do have. I'm a good listener. My wife may not agree with sometimes, but I'm a good listener. I'm always listening to what
I would
people
say you are. I mean, yeah.
I listen, and I'm very. I mean, the person I am, very compassionate, and I really care what people got going on in their lives. So once they deliver something to me, give something whatever they're dealing with at the time, I kind of like give them some positive feedback or just kind of make them feel better about the situation they're dealing with. Even if it's not a bad situation, I kind of like just talk with them, kind of relate to what they're going through or what they're talking about. And just overall, it's a great conversation. So it's like, to me, it's like I'm ministering to them, like if they did something good, bad, or it's something I could just make them feel good about themselves for these next 20, 30 minutes. And whenever they leave here, I always want to make sure that they had a good experience in my chair and it's got something positive out of the whole conversation. I mean,
but you really feel like this is your pulpit.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes, I do.
That's very, very deep, man.
Yes.
And so since I'm sitting in your pulpit here, man, how many people come and sit in the pulpit, man, as I'm going to call it here? Like, what is a typical day like?
A typical day, I may average maybe 15 to 20 people per day. Maybe on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday, those are like my busiest days. I may average 20 to 25 people per day.
Huh.
So between Friday and Saturday, I do like 20, 25 people per day.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, I've always thought to myself, like, how are you able to stay focused on like you're doing right now, cutting my hair or cutting people's hair, while at the same time being able to hear what they are saying, man? Like, how does that go into play? Is that a fair question?
Absolutely. To me, for me as a barber, and I kind of like talk to other barbers, I always tell them, I said, I know my end goal. I know how it's going to look at the end. So the whole time, I'm kind of like, in the back of my mind, I already know how the end's going to be. So it's just like it's just like a gift. I'm just like, I already know I can have a conversation with you, but I already know where I'm going at. So.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. That's very deep. And so, Clayton, when you're doing this and cutting hair and all this kind of good stuff, man, because I'm here every week, man, you're hearing, man, it could be over 100 different conversations
Absolutely.
a week. And the typical church runs about 75 to 125 people.
Right.
So basically, man, your congregation is about 125 people a week, man.
Right.
But they are 125 different conversations.
It's every day something different, right?
How does that not wear you out, man?
Some days like it could get mentally tiring, but
Yeah.
I think honestly, mine, for me doing it so long, and by me being so passionate about what I do, I think I embrace it. I look forward each and every day. I'm always looking for something new, a new conversation, just something new that I can add to my life, and also that I can add to someone else's life. So I kind of it's not like a burden. So I kind of like I think I wake up just. Since I'm passionate, I kind of wake up excited about coming to work, and looking for what kind of experience I'm going to have that day. So
You love this job.
I love it.
Man,
I love it.
And I can tell that when I come in here. It's kind of odd having these cameras here in our conversation. But which, by the way, does that mean since the cameras are here, I still got to pay at the end of all this?
Oh, man.
Is this a free one, or this is kind of like weird with all the cameras here? But this is a whole other question altogether.
Right.
But man, when you talk about all these different conversations, what has been one of your funniest conversations? Man, we won't tell anybody's names, obviously.
Oh man, that's so many, man. I don't know where to start.
And what? This might be a better one. What has been one that you thought, man, this is really impacting someone's life in a deep way recently?
A young lady came in 2 months ago, and she called me a day before, and she was saying that she wants to cut all her hair off.
Oh, wow.
And she said she was scared to come to this barbershop. And actually, it was on a Sunday when she called me. And she said she was scared to come up to the shop to get a haircut because she had to cut off. She's going through chemo, and
Wow.
she found out she had breast cancer.
Wow.
So I told her, well, let's do it on a Monday. No one's here on Mondays. It make you feel comfortable. And she said she agreed. She said I'd be perfect. So she came in, and she still had a pretty good amount of hair, long hair. And she said, I have to go through chemo and everything. So I just want to go ahead and just cut my hair all off, just get my mind prepared for it.
Yeah.
So the whole time cutting her hair, we couldn't. She was nervous, but she knows it's something she had to do. So I'm cutting. I'm cutting extremely low. Just almost as low as yours.
Right.
And the whole time we're talking, I kind of related to her, my story because she was going through cancer and everything. So, and I told her, I said, believe it or not, I went through cancer myself. I had prostate cancer, and she was like, "Wow, really?" And I told her, I'm gonna tell you something that my pastor always told me when I first found out I had cancer. He said, "Get some inspiration and also get some information." And what I meant by that was, find other people who's going through the same thing or who has been through the same thing that you're going through now. Listen to their story, and what you do is you get inspiration from them, and that will give you strength to help you to get through what you're going through right now. And as far as the information part of it, read as much as you can about what you're going through. What's the side effects? What's life after you go through this cancer? How's life going to be? Read as much information as you can about it, and just soak all that. Just soak it all in, and that will help you get through everything. And the whole time I was cutting, she was like, "You really blessed me through this haircut." I mean, I would never thought that you went through cancer as well. Just looking at you, I said, "Yeah, you never know." It's like you just find out as many people you can. Just find out their story. I mean, what they went through, how did they defeat it, and that's going to help you through your process. That's what helped me. So that was like something. I mean, recently this just touched my spirit. And when she left, and I told her, I said, "Don't worry about paying me for this haircut. This is on me." She said, "No. You blessed me so much today. I have to pay you." And it made me feel good. It made me feel like God put me here behind this chair for that particular that reason. It was like I'm working in my purpose.
Wow.
So
That's I can't imagine what that must have been like, and just having to walk her through that experience. It's funny, like Clayton, do you feel like some experiences that people come to you with that you've gone through before, man?
Oh, absolutely.
while you're cutting their hair, man, where you go, "Oh my gosh, they're sharing this story with me." Maybe not to the one that we just spoke about, the lady who had cancer, unfortunately, but some of the ones that people come in here and they may think, "Man, I'm the only one who's going through this," man. And really, you've been through it too.
Right.
Man.
Right.
When it comes to that, man, how do you minister to men? Because I know that story we talked about was a lady, but primarily most of your customers are men, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So what are men going through, man, when they sit down in this chair, man?
Honestly, men go through a lot, and one thing about us men, we keep a lot of stuff trapped in. We shell ourselves a lot. We don't like to just kind of like speak on things we go through a lot. And one thing is a blessing about a barbershop, men come in and it's like they let their hair down. They just let it all out. Especially when they get something about sitting in this bar.
Typically there are people in this shop.
Right.
Typically, we're doing a little different here today.
Right.
had we been filming at the same time, people in this shop,
right.
I don't know what we would get, Clayton, honestly. But that's number one. But number two, the noise would be pretty loud.
It would be, right.
And so maybe we should come back when people are here, Clayton.
Right.
We'll do that one next time, maybe.
A real barbershop experience.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that one next time when people are in the room here. But,
right.
But I wanted this one to really be focused on you as a minister and doing it at the same time, because ministry is more than just showing up in the four walls of the church.
Absolutely, Maina. Absolutely.
I mean, and the truth of the matter is, what you're doing with men on a regular basis here, primarily men, is ministry.
Right. Absolutely. And honestly, Maina, I think that was one of my biggest battles as far as being a minister, because after I got out of seminary school, I think when I first graduated from seminary, I had a complete mindset that I had to be in a church. I had to be in a pulpit. I had to minister from a podium in front of a crowd of people. And I think it just took me a while to kind of realize that every day I come to work, people are coming to see me. And I was like, this is my pulpit. This is my ministry. This is how I reach people outside the church. And I found myself being at peace about it, because I think me talked about it before plenty of times, how I always wanted my own church. My dad's being a pastor. I always admired my dad. My pastor back home in Florida, I always wanted to walk in their footsteps. I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to be like my pastor back home. But through the years, I had to realize this is my ministry. This is what God gifted me to do. I meet so many different people, all walks of life. And I bless them. I make them feel good. And we just have one-on-one conversations. I mean, from pastors to city leaders, community leaders, celebrities. Wow. And like once they get in my chair, it's like we're all equal. And we just relate one-on-one. It's like a natural feeling. And I just realized God put this gift in me to be a barber. And I'm using this as my ministry to reach people. And I'm at peace about it. And I think I talked my wife a lot about it. I said, I'm not upset. I'm not I don't have my own church no more. I'm not a senior pastor of this church. God used me to bless people, minister to people right here behind this chair. And I'm seeing so many different faces each and every day, and I love it.
No, I can't even imagine. And it seems like you do once again I come in here. What's the number one issue that people are going through, Clay, when they do come and sit down and talk to you, man? Like what seems to resonate more than other topics? Fair question?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people dealing with depression.
Really?
A lot.
Wow.
And I know, and a lot of people don't talk about it.
Oh.
And I think, especially men, like I say, men hold a lot of things in and they don't speak up on it. And me personally, it's something I dealt with in the past, depression, anxiety. And one of the first things I tell them, I say, first, you got to pray, trust God, but also seek counseling, seek therapy.
Which coming here is like that.
Absolutely.
But you would also say,
I say seek, and a lot of people, and especially men, they think it's a bad thing to sit on someone's couch and talk and pour.
Yeah.
I said, that's for me personally, that's some of the best. That's probably the best thing I ever did in my life is go to counseling, therapy. I mean, I pray, I trust God, and I also see a therapist, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm proud to say it. So I just tell them, because I just know men, especially, they deal with a lot of depression, and like I said, just dealing with the pressure, stress in the world, and they, like I said, they hold it in, and they don't know how to release it.
Wow. I never thought that would be the number one topic.
Absolutely.
Man. Wow. And so out of the 125 men and women that you see play,
yes, sir,
would you say more than half are dealing with that, man? Or
I'll say, yeah, more than half. I'll say 60-40.
God.
Yep, 60-40.
Man, what's life like cutting hair after the pandemic, man? I mean, because there's that period during the pandemic,
right,
when I remember going, I mean, I think I snuck in here right before they shut things down.
You did.
And I can remember going, like weeks later going, oh my gosh, I need a haircut.
Right.
And that went, like a lot of people, that went on for weeks, man.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
How many weeks were you out, Clayton? Do you remember that? Man?
Yeah, I do, man. I was out a total 2 months.
Was it that long?
It was 2 months, yes, sir.
I can recall calling you up going, I've got to get in. I promise.
I know it. I remember that. You sure did.
Man, what were those early days like coming back?
Actually, it was like, I think like everyone else, it's just in a state of shock. Couldn't believe all this was happening. Like just seeing everything shut down around the world, just shutting down. And by me just being, being self-employed, this is the only way I pay my bills. I got to be at work.
Yeah. How'd you trust God during that period, man?
Man, I just a lot of prayer, and it's really, man, during that time, and I think I really got deep in my word, man. It's like found myself reading heavily deep. I mean, studying more and more each and every day. Like I said, I told you, my dad, he's a pastor. Yeah. So what we did, I think that was when the churches started shutting down as well. So that's when we started. Most churches going virtually. So my dad came up with this idea for Thursday nights, and we called it Thankful Thursdays. Just going in the Word on Thursday, and he wanted me to lead that. So every Thursday evening, I do a virtual Bible study, and during the whole pandemic, I mean, every week that kept me focused, getting prepared for that Thursday night. So the shutdown, the pandemic allowed me to really get deep in my work.
Focused on that.
Focused on that, and that kept me busy, kept my mind busy, and the whole time, man, God kept providing for me, and it was like. Those 2 months, it was hard, but like I said, it went by fast though.
Yeah. All right. Next to last question, man. You have your own product line too. Man,
yes, sir.
Which kind of came out during the pandemic. It's kind of funny how people
right.
a lot of things during that time.
Yes, sir.
Man. And what is that product, man? That you came up with, man.
Yes, sir.
Which I think is hilarious, Clayton, honestly, dude. When I first saw it, I was like, Clayton has his own product line.
Right.
This is great. Yes. How did that come into play, man?
Honestly, when I first, like I said, passionate about being a barber, I just having a love just for this field, this hair industry, and I always said I want to have my own hair product line for men. I used to fantasize my products being in the stores, like walking in the store to see my own brand on the shelves. And it's something I always, years ago, I always had a dream of having my own product line. And I think during the pandemic, I was thinking about it heavily. Then I think the past 6 months or so, I was sitting there telling my wife, I said, I'm going to do this. Something I'm going to step out on faith. I'm going to start my own product line. I'm going to reach out to some companies, kind of help me get started. And lo and behold, 2 months, not 2 months now, I started my own hair product line. Right now, my first products are, for men's beards.
Right.
So I have a men's conditioner, I have men shampoo for their beard, and have a beard oil. And
shampoo for the beard?
Yes, sir.
I don't have a beard. I mean, this is like,
yes,
I've been waiting for this stuff,
right.
Which I'm...
And I'm telling you, man, that my first 2 weeks, once I announced it, I went social media with it. I'm doing my website right now. And when I launched it, man, people was so excited and happy. I mean, I think I sold out my first
wow.
batch in maybe 3 weeks. I mean, I sold out everything. So right now I'm in the process of restocking up. So people are still calling me, inboxing me, DM messaging me on Instagram. Okay, I need some products.
When's the next one? Next one come back. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. And I think this is something I'm passionate about. Just have my own products, and after the beard product, I'm going to go to shampoos for your hair, your scalp, conditioner for scalp. So I want to launch something big. So
pretty interesting.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can't believe we're at the last question, but last question here. Man.
Yes, sir.
What would you say to somebody who they really feel called to preach and ministry, but at the same time they're doing what you do, or it could be any other area,
right?
Man, God may have them in. What kind of advice would you give, man?
I'll tell them, just trust God. Wherever He leads you, follow.
Oh.
Don't have your mind set on something that you plan on doing. In your mind and your heart, trust God with His plan, because His plan is always bigger than yours.
Wow.
For me, my plan was be a senior pastor inside no four walls, but God had something. He had
Well,
something
you are a
different.
senior pastor, just in a different
different
way.
Yes, sir. So I did. Like I said,
Yeah.
And like I said, I was looking for the church, and the whole time, this is my pulpit behind this chair.
And really, the church came to you
Absolutely.
more than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean,
Yes.
and unlike in some churches where people don't give offering, you get an offering every time
Right.
from people. So
Absolutely.
That's kind of neat.
Yes, sir.
Kinda, there are a lot of pastors who would love that, Clayton. I mean,
Yeah.
trust me.
Yes.
Well, man, I just want to thank you.
Yes.
This is unusual for us to do this here and
Right.
invite all of you in.
Yes.
But this has been good.
Awesome, man. I loved every minute of it, man.
Man, thank you.
Thank you.